same time we were buying, they were buying.
Mark and Karen Jackson bought their retirement home out in Valley Centre 5 years ago. Their property is on semi-rural land, zoned for a maximum of one house every 4 acres. But Mark Jackson says a developer has plans to ask the county to change that zoning.
The accretive proposed Lilac Hills Ranch will be on the lemon grove that's just over my property line, out about 300 feet from where we are now. And that's where the start of very high density urban development will be.
Jackson says if built, the Lilac Hills development would add more than 1,700 homes to an area zoned for about 100. The community would be the size of the city of Del Mar, a good example of what's called Leapfrog development, allowing houses to spring up in rural areas where there are no existing towns or job centres. Steve Hutchison is on the Valley Centre Planning Group.
The project extends on the east from over this direction all the way across, all the way behind me, 608 acres.
Hutchison says San Diego County spent millions of dollars and more than a decade updating its general plan. It was finalized 4 years ago and was designed to preserve rural areas and help the county meet its goal of reducing greenhouse gases. It specifically prohibits leapfrog development.
If you can have an exception to that leapfrog development prohibition, basically you can put a project like we've been talking about virtually anywhere in the undeveloped county.
The decision of whether to approve the proposed Lilac Hills project here in Valley Centre could set a precedent for many other developments in other semi-rural areas of San Diego County. In order to approve it, the county supervisors would have to modify principles put in place to make the future development in San Diego more sustainable.
We would really like to show you all the great plans that we have, and we have a lot of images over here.
The developer, Accretive Investments, has held meetings with the community and says the proposed development is sustainable. It includes solar energy, recycled water, on-site composting, and green buildings, plus walking and biking trails.
Does it translate into reality?
Matt Adams with the San Diego Building Industry Association says the county supervisors will have good reasons to make amendments to the general plan.
We have a housing shortage in San Diego County. Homes cost as much as they do now because we don't build enough of them, and we haven't for over 10 years. Sandag says we should be building 1,000 new homes every month just to keep pace with population growth. And we haven't done that in over 10 years. So we have to start making real decisions as to where we want to house our citizens, both our current citizens and future citizens, because no is not a plan.
San Diego's regional planning agency, Sandag, has just adopted a new regional growth plan that calls for more compact development to help meet the region's goal to cut greenhouse gas emissions. Both Sandag and the county are being sued for failing to meet those goals.
We've done some more work on.
But Charles Muggs Stull, Sandag's Director of Land Use and Transportation Planning, says the agency has no authority over the county's land use decisions.
What we try to do is we try to encourage, land use plans that, that focus development in already developed areas, because that's what we generally see happening. And so we try to do things to advocate for that and to encourage that, but we are not a land use authority.
Yeah, from the east, near the road here, all the way across.
Hutchison says Valley Centre is ready to accept its share of new housing, and the general plan includes space for new developments near the existing town centre. So why don't developers build where the general plan says they can build?
If you look at land like is behind me here, it sells for much less, maybe $20,000, $30,000 an acre, somewhere in that neighborhood. If you get into the community centers, well, everybody knows it's going to be higher density and consequently more expensive, and it could be up, over $250,000, maybe up to $500,000 an acre.
The Lilac Hills development is expected to come before the Planning Commission and then the County Board later this summer. The decisions will show whether millions of taxpayer dollars invested in years of public planning will determine the future, or will millions of dollars in private investment change those plans. Alison St. John, KPBS News.